All right, and we're back here on BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. And I have on the show today Mike Coleman, who is a salesman over there, sales manager over at Bestpass. Is that correct, Mike?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
So why don't you, first of all, why don't you just go ahead and tell us what Bestpass is?
So Bestpass is a toll management company. So you're like, what is toll management? You know what it is? Remember when you're back in high school, Dave? You had that, you had friends over and you had a annoying little brother who kept trying to get in, see what you guys are doing. That's what toll is to all these companies. It's just an annoying little brother. So a lot of times it falls on the safety manager. It's his responsibility. He's got more important things to deal with, keeping his trucks on the road, keeping everybody safe, making sure certification's up to date. He doesn't want to try to figure out if there's a duplicate toll in Pennsylvania. Leave that up to us. That's what we do. We manage your toll for you. Get you the best rates, get you the best coverage anywhere you go. I can't hear you. Dave, I'm sorry, I lost you. I can't hear you.
All right, there you go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
I'm sorry. For some reason it went red. I'm hoping it's not dying. I'll tell you what. Isn't it truly tolls? We all know as Americans, we all know how difficult tolls can be, but in trucking and in logistics, they become even more problematic because they're hard to keep up with, right?
Extremely hard to keep up with. They're expensive too, but it's not as expensive as say gas or tires or equipment or insurance. But yeah, it's people can spend. There's companies out there that spend upwards of say 80 to 100 hours a month just managing their toll.
Yeah, and that's crazy. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of investment. Not only are you paying it, but you're actually paying a full time person just to make sure that they get paid. And you don't. And I'll tell you, you don't want to mess up paying tolls to a country or tolls to. You don't want to mess up paying any government, any state government, or anybody about not getting them paid. Right?
Well, yeah, sure. So everybody's moving to cashless tolling, right? And since COVID, it's been sped up that much quicker. And now everybody's getting paper bills in the mail. They're getting violations. They're so prevalent now that people don't even see them as a violation, just as a way of doing business. And they're getting stacks of these things on the desk every day that they have to deal with. And we can eliminate that for them.
So, Mike, I just want you to know that there are a lot of local devices, right? There are a lot of devices out there that do tolls, right? That
Sure.
collect tolls and do tolls. What separates yours, Mike? I want to know makes Best Pass the best pass.
It's right there in the name, right? So what makes us the best pass is we can customize our solution. We can give you a local device. We can give you a regional device. We can give you a nationwide device, whatever you need. Not only are we going to give you the best coverage, we're going to get you the best price on toll. Plus, all the toll authorities are just really set up for mom and pop with two cars. They're just there to collect money. Um, we give you a whole reporting system. We find misreads. We do everything just to make it a lot easier for you, save your money.
So, and I don't know if you know this, Mike. There was a day driving a truck when there would be a whole slew of those things across. I just can tell you right now, just I don't want to name them, but there were at least 7 across the top of my truck at one point, running across the country to make sure that they had the right readers, the right tolls, they had everything. This Best Pass incorporates all of them, right? I mean, it doesn't matter where, when, how, or why, right?
Yeah, correct. It incorporates them all. Just think about how much more room you have on that window from a safety point of view, rather than having 7, 8, 9 devices on your window, plus your ELD and your scale service. Now you just put that all on one device. Saves you a lot of window space, and it's just a lot easier. Consolidates all your accounts into one as well.
What and by the way, you don't have to have a large fleet, right, to get Best Pass, right? I mean,
No, no, we'll work with owner operators all the way up to mega fleets. Yeah.
And by the way, I'll tell you, it's nice to know that there's just one thing you can stick on the window and you can help deal with it. Not only do you help collect the tolls, but you help manage all of that other stuff that goes with it, right?
Sure, absolutely. Everything that goes with that. We collect we we work on a prepaid toll model, so for the most part. So you pay us, and we take care of everything else. Any violations, if you were to get one, our goal is to eliminate them. But if you do get one, you just send it to us. We worry about it. We investigate it. We pay if it needs to be paid. We look for those duplicate tolls. We look for misreads. We're just working there for you at all times.
So let me as of right now, like you may have a small fleet, and you're looking to do this. This isn't an expensive venture to get into, right? I mean, this is basically a pretty good set, and you can grow easily, right, Mike? Let's say you got two that merge or two companies that come together, one in a whole different region, or you acquire another set of trucks or what have you, and they work in a different. You could actually merge these quickly and easily.
Yeah, yeah. So that happens all the time, right? Companies merge all the time. So what ends up happening is you have multiple people handling that toll stuff. Uh, so that's one of the areas where we're going to save you money. You might have passes with, say, up north, you have an easy pass. Maybe you have a Texas tag down in Texas. Maybe you have something out in California. Now you're dealing with three different accounts, maybe three different companies that have merged together. So you have three different people doing each of those things. We can do it all for you. We can consolidate that all into one account, take care of everything for you, one person to deal with, just a lot easier for you guys. That's where we're saving these guys a lot of time and energy.
And when you save time, especially in this business, you're saving money. Because that's what we're ultimately talking about here. You're making it easier to do this. Hey, walk me through like one of your good success stories where they were a little hesitant maybe, and then all of a sudden, bam, and then they came back to you and go, we should have did this months ago, or we should have did this a long time ago.
Well, believe it or not, it happens all the time. But one particular case, we have a very large retailer that we went down and met with down south. And they took us in a room, 10 by 12 room. It was just filled with boxes. And in those boxes were just toll violation after toll violation, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of violations. They had no idea what to do. They had no idea where to start. So we actually took a picture of it so we can use it occasionally. But we were able to go back to different toll authorities, work out some deals to get rid of the late fees, the processing fees, and just get everything paid and get them back on track. They no longer get violations. Maybe the occasional one here or there once a month or so. But they're so happy now. And they can't believe they didn't come to us years before. Not for lack of us trying. But.
Mike, are you my inside guy in all the toll booths? Is that what you're telling us? Y'all are my inside. You're the inside guy. Like, hey, I know a guy, and he can help you out here. Hey, you got trouble with the toll authority there in New York? I know a guy, and his name's Mike. Is that how we're going to do this going forward?
Yeah, keep it on the down low. Yeah, no, absolutely. That's what we're here for. We're here to interact with the toll authority, so you don't have to. I don't know if you tried calling a toll authority, especially
God,
during COVID.
Yeah.
You would wait on the phone for days. You call us, it's a couple rings, and you get somebody live. Whether it's sales, customer service, anything you need, we're right there for you.
Mike, we're joking about that, and I'm going to tell you that happens more than you know. And I never have I talked to the person I need to talk to when they answered like, oh no, you need to talk to so and so. I'm transferring you, and I've never. What is it? Do they just have a person that answers the phone that you're absolutely not going to be the person that you need to talk to? I don't understand that.
Dave, I think you're voting for the wrong people. I guess I don't know, because by the way, that's happening in my state as well. You never get through to that right person. It's just wait on the phone forever, and then you get connected to the wrong person. Heck, I got a bill for my daughter going back to school, and she has an easy pass in her car. I tried calling multiple times, and finally just had to give up on paying.
I think it's very important. And y'all do a great job at reports and stuff like that to make sure they get back because, tolls are a tax. I mean, they're a tax write-off because they're a tax. It's very important that they get in through as an expense, right? Through, and we got to make sure that we keep good records, because there's one thing that nobody likes, that the government doesn't like, is not good records. So we got to know exactly what we're spending out there right now, right? If we're going to write this stuff off, we got to make sure that we get the right numbers.
And that's one of our biggest advantages. We have all sorts of reporting. Toll authorities just give you a list of transactions. I can give you so much information about toll, you really don't need it. If you need it for your IFTA taxes in New York or Massachusetts, I can give you a breakdown of the miles that you run in those states. I can give you breakdowns by cost center, by vehicle, by driver. There's so many different reports that we have access to. Most of them don't get used because it's just overkill. But there's always that one company who needs one specific thing. So we've got those there for you.
When you talk to like just the owner operator, maybe the one or two truck operation, and you help these guys out, how have they reacted to you, Mike, and what you provide for them?
Well, the owner operators are the guys who are always going over the roads, right? They're going coast to coast all the time. So they're the guys who always have one device, or they're the guys with the 7 devices. So they're trying to run their own business. They got a lot of other things to, on their minds. They're going to make sure they have a truck, a trailer to pull, a full trailer at that. They got to be safe out on the roads. They don't need to worry about tolls. They love working with us.
How many tolling authorities do you actually do? There's got to be over, what, 50 tolling authorities out there that you have to deal with across the country, right?
Sure. There's roughly about 50 plus 53 or so different toll authorities that we have great relationships with. We're the go-between for them all. They all love working with us because we're a guaranteed payment for them. There's no risk. It's just a lot easier. You would know how many small little toll authorities there are that run a bridge someplace.
Yeah, I think one of the things I think I like about Bestpass is that you guys know what you're dealing with. You know what you're dealing when you call. You know who to call, and you know the language. You speak their language, right? I mean, you're not you talk our language on this side, but you turn around and you talk their language when you're discussing what's going on with the tolls and the violations and the problems and the buildup and what we need to do to get it cleared up. You already have all that in. You're the experts. Where's Bestpass going? Talk to me about that, Mike. Let's talk about where we're headed.
So where we're headed, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities out there. Citations, we're moving into that, clearing those up for people. Who knows? There could be a way station. A deal coming with us soon. There's a lot of different things down the pipe, a lot of different ways. Ultimately, what we want to do is see the vehicle as the payment method. So maybe you go to a gas station or fuel up. Rather than paying with your fuel card, maybe you pay with your transponder that's already in your vehicle. One device for all your payments. That's where we're ultimately heading.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. That's almost futuristic, right, Mike? You're thinking about all of these things, and it's just something you stick on the window, and I don't have to worry about it anymore, right? I mean, ultimately, that's what we're talking about doing here, utilizing these services and these creation and these ideas that this transponder reads the right information, no matter what you're doing, where you're going, or how you're doing it. It knows what to read and collects that information, and then ultimately pays the tax on the back end, right?
Sure, absolutely. Just one payment vehicle. That transponder would work everywhere you would go.
Mike, I really want to say, and please, you can use this idea, but I'm thinking fast food for a transponder, right? So I don't have to fumble for cards or anything, and that way when I roll through fast food, it dings and it automatically pays, and they just shove the food out the window. What are you thinking, Mike? I'm thinking that's an idea, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a great idea, but I'm thinking that, mine would be ringing up charges left and right, so that's probably not the best idea.
My wife would so not let me have that. She would so not let me have that. Mike, hey, if somebody wants to truly reach out and talk to you about Bestpass over there and try to talk to you a little bit more about getting it and looking into it, how do they do that? How do they reach out to you, Mike?
You can go to bestpass.com. There's a spot on there where you can sign up as an owner-operator. There's a spot where you can talk to somebody on there. You can email us. There's numbers to call. Very easy to reach us. Bestpass.com.
And it's not a difficult process either we're talking about, right, Mike? It's really pretty simple straightforward deal.
I got to tell you, it's incredibly simple. People are always worried about the implementation of the product. It's really not that bad. When somebody signs up, we program the devices, we label them, we send them out to you. So when you get them, you just stick it in the truck as the truck comes into the yard. Simple procedure.
And then from then on, you're our partners going forward, right? You're my go-between with all the toll authorities out there. Once I get that in the truck, I have an issue or a problem, I call you guys, right? And I don't have to call the toll authority.
Yeah, 100%. You call us. If you have an issue with the transponder or you think you're getting double tolled or something's going on, you simply call us. We'll deal with it for you.
Man, I appreciate that, Mike. Hey, do you have a number or anything? I know you can go to bestpass.com, but do y'all have a phone number that we can reach you guys at?
Yeah, we absolutely do, but it's on the Bestpass website. You're going to ask me my phone number. Jeez.
No, that's fine. I mean, you can go to the bestpass.com website, right, and you can get all that information, make the phone call. Hey, man, I appreciate you going out there. And before you go, let me ask you, so we get a little sheet here about people. So you're a lacrosse referee, is that correct, sir?
Yes, I am. High school and college, yeah.
How did you get into that? How did you get into being a ref for lacrosse?
You know what? Way back in 8th grade, I started playing, and I just loved the game. But I didn't have enough time to be a coach, so I thought, how's a way to stay close to the game? So I got into reffing. So you can find me getting yelled at out of field, pretty much all spring long.
Do you get to throw people out of the game? Do you get to eject people ever? I mean, I've always wanted to go, you're out of here. I mean,
I have ejected one coach, but never a fan. Never a player.
Never a player or a fan. You've never had to do that. I just don't. Do they kick dirt up on your shoes ever? Do they come running up and throw a little dirt up there and yell at you? Or it doesn't get like that at lacrosse? It's a little bit more sportsmanlike, right? I figure lacrosse would be more sportsmanlike. Everybody knows the rules, and we're all okay with it. Is that kind of how it goes?
I'm going to have to say no. I'm going to say it's a little less sportsmanlike, a little less dirt kicking because now we're on turf all the time.
Right.
But probably a little more language, I'm going to say.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, we appreciate you coming out. And you know what? I think the product's a great product. Actually have some experience with the product. And that's one of the reasons why you're here. I think it's a fantastic way to deal with dealing with tolls because I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to make those phone calls anymore. And it's good to have you guys in the corner when doing that. Mike, I do appreciate it. Hey, before you get out of here, I always ask our guests to do one thing before they go, and that's to state their name, who they're with, and that you're watching BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. Can you do that?
Sure. I am Mike Coleman. I'm with Bestpass, and you're watching BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Have a good day now, okay?
You too. Take care.